I saw my 38-year-old neighbor exercising at home. She called out, "You don't have to sneak a look." Outside, the alien sky stretched in strange shades of green and violet, the twin suns of the distant planet painting everything in unusual light. The domed colony hovered gently above the planet's surface, a safe haven for humans, designed to protect them from the harsh environment below. Though the view was breathtaking, Aaron's attention was drawn to something, or rather, someone closer to home. Across the narrow corridor that separated his habitat from the neighboring pod, a familiar figure moved gracefully inside her apartment. It was Myra, his 38-year-old neighbor. She had always been independent, quietly going about her work and daily life, never seeking attention. But today, she seemed different. Aaron noticed her as soon as he stepped out for a morning breath of the recycled air. Myra was performing a series of fluid motions that seemed almost like dance, but precise, controlled, and almost mechanical in rhythm. He had always been curious about Myra. She was older than most of the residents in the colony and had a quiet confidence that came from experience. He had seen her once or twice in passing, exchanging polite nods in the corridor or in the common dining hall. But seeing her like this, moving with purpose, her body aligned with invisible patterns, sparked something in him. A mix of curiosity and admiration, tinged with that little guilt of watching someone without their permission. Aaron's first instinct was to look away. But his eyes kept returning. There was something mesmerizing about the way Myra moved. The motions were not just exercise. They seemed to interact with the faint, soft glow around her suit. The colony issued exosuits for residents for exploration outside the dome, but Myra's was worn indoors, softly lighting up the room as if it had a life of its own. For a moment, he forgot to breathe, caught in the dance of human skill and quiet discipline. The exosuit responded to her movements almost like a partner, bending slightly, glowing brighter with precise gestures. Aaron couldn't understand the mechanics, but he could sense the purpose. This was more than fitness. It was a practice of preparation, training, or perhaps a personal ritual of growth. As he watched, the balcony door behind him slid open with a gentle hiss. His friend Kalen leaned out, sipping a cup of rehydrated coffee. "Morning, Aaron," Kalen said, yawning. "You look concentrated. Something on your mind?" Aaron's face flushed slightly. Nothing, just thinking." He tried to casually glance away from Myra's apartment, but Kalen followed his gaze immediately. "Oh, that," Kalen chuckled softly. "That's Myra. She's always doing something like that. I think she calls it personal optimization, some sort of exercise, meditation, and skill practice all in one." "Personal optimization," Aaron echoed, curiosity piqued. "Indoors?" Kalen shrugged. "I think it's her way of staying ready. You never know what the planet will throw at us. Low gravity, environmental hazards, unstable zones. Humans here need to be sharp." Aaron nodded, a sense of admiration growing. Myra was more than just a neighbor. She was an example of what humans could do when they combined discipline with creativity. He felt a strange mix of humility and excitement, wanting to know more, to understand the purpose behind those graceful movements. The days passed, and Aaron found himself paying more attention than he realized. Every morning, Myra performed her exercises, each sequence slightly different from the last. Sometimes she incorporated a small weight harness, other times she moved as if reacting to an invisible opponent, dodging and spinning with flawless precision. Her movements seemed impossible, especially in the confined space of the apartment. Yet she executed them with a calm and natural flow that spoke of years of practice. Aaron could not help but compare it with himself. His days were filled with engineering work, maintaining the colony's systems, recalibrating energy shields, and running diagnostics. All important, yes, but physical agility, mental focus under strain, and instinctive reflexes were things he had neglected. Watching Myra, he felt a stirring desire to learn, to push beyond the limits of habit and routine. One morning, as the first green sunbeam broke across the colony's dome, something unexpected happened. Aaron was leaning against his railing, lost in thought, when Myra's voice carried across the corridor. "You don't have to sneak a look." Aaron jumped back, startled. He hadn't realized he had been staring so openly. His face turned red as he tried to wave off the situation. I wasn't sneaking. I mean, I was just, Myra laughed, a warm, melodic sound that seemed to ease his embarrassment. "It's all right," she said. "Curiosity is natural. If you want, you can join me sometime. It's not dangerous, and I can show you the purpose behind these movements." Aaron blinked, surprised. Her tone was inviting, not admonishing. He hesitated, then nodded. I'd like that." And so began a subtle transformation in the colony's quiet routine. That evening, Aaron lingered near the common area, imagining what Myra's exercises could teach him. He thought about agility, balance, mental coordination, and how these skills might help him outside the dome, exploring the alien world below. Over the next few days, Aaron cautiously accepted Myra's invitations. The exercises were not easy. They combined stretching, balance, and mental sequencing that made him feel awkward at first. Yet Myra's calm instructions, her encouragement without judgment, gradually guided him into the rhythm. Each motion seemed to unlock a small part of himself he had forgotten: quick reflexes, spatial awareness, subtle strength, and a sense of harmony with his own body. It was more than physical training, it was mental. Aaron noticed how his mind became sharper, how he could anticipate patterns in systems at work, and even notice minor anomalies in the colony's energy flows. Myra's teachings were practical, applicable, and inspiring. She was like a mentor, yet she never imposed. She simply guided, letting curiosity lead. The other residents began to notice the changes in Aaron as well. He moved with more confidence, spoke with more clarity, and handled tasks with a new efficiency. And yet, he never boasted. He simply grew quietly, like Myra's exercises, subtle but powerful, a testament to human adaptability. One morning, after a particularly long session of synchronized movement and balance training, Myra turned to him with a gentle smile. "You're getting the hang of it," she said. "Humans are amazing, you know. We think we're fragile, but we adapt. We improvise. That's why we're here, surviving where no one else could." Aaron nodded, absorbing her words. He realized then that what had started as mere curiosity, watching his neighbor from a distance, had become a journey of self-discovery. The alien planet was dangerous, yes, and the colony was fragile, but humans had something no system, no AI, and no alien adaptation could replicate: creativity, determination, and the ability to learn. As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the dome with violet and orange, Aaron stood outside, looking at Myra's apartment. She was performing her evening routine, fluid and precise, as if the entire day's energy flowed through her movements. And Aaron felt a spark of excitement, knowing that one day, perhaps, they would take these skills beyond the safe confines of the colony, into the uncharted landscapes below, proving once again why humanity could thrive where others might fail. Curiosity had led him here. Discipline would guide him forward. And in the quiet of the domed colony, two humans practiced, moved, and learned, small steps toward something extraordinary. The hum of life support, the alien whines outside, and the faint glow of Myra's exosuit reminded Aaron of one simple truth: humans were not just survivors. They were explorers, innovators, and above all, adaptable beyond imagination. And in this strange, distant world, that truth shone brighter than any sun. The next morning, Aaron woke up earlier than usual. The recycled air of the colony carried the faint scent of sterilized metal and synthetic coffee, but it was not unpleasant. The twin suns had just begun to rise over the alien horizon, casting long shadows across the domed colony. Aaron's apartment felt quieter than usual, almost expectant, as if the world itself knew something new was about to happen. He dressed quickly, opting for his simple training suit. Today was the day Myra had invited him to join her exercises, and though excitement surged through him, he could not help but feel nervous. After all, she was experienced, precise, and graceful. He was not. When he arrived at her apartment, the door was already open. Myra stood near the center of the room, her movements slow and deliberate, stretching her arms in wide arcs, her exosuit softly glowing in rhythm with her motions. The gentle hum of the suit filled the room almost like music, and it was mesmerizing. "Good morning, Aaron," she said, her voice calm and inviting. "Ready to begin?" He swallowed and nodded. "Yes, I think I am." "Good," she said, smiling. "The first thing you must understand is why we do these exercises. It's not just physical. It's preparation for life outside this dome, and for life inside it as well." Aaron followed her instructions carefully. At first it was simple: stretches, slow rotations of the arms and legs, bending, twisting, and balancing. But Myra's movements were precise, almost like she was painting invisible patterns in the air. She demonstrated each motion slowly, allowing Aaron to mimic her, correcting his posture gently, encouraging him with soft words. "Balance is more than staying upright," she explained. "It's about understanding your body, predicting how it will respond, and adapting before the situation demands it. Humans have instincts, but we can strengthen them with practice." Aaron nodded, concentrating as he tried to replicate her motions. At first his limbs felt clumsy, his movements jerky, but gradually, with Myra's guidance, he began to feel the rhythm. The small glow from her exosuit seemed to respond to his attempts, flickering faintly whenever he hit the correct posture. It was as if the suit could sense human effort, supporting it rather than replacing it. Hours passed unnoticed. They moved through sequences that tested reflexes, flexibility, and coordination. Myra guided him through exercises designed to improve mental focus, too. "Humans are strongest when mind and body are connected," she said. "A slow, careful mind can be just as powerful as quick reflexes." Aaron realized she was right. As he concentrated on his movements, he began to notice subtle changes. He could anticipate the next step, adjust his weight instinctively, and even feel small improvements in his posture and balance. The exercises were challenging, but not exhausting. Instead, they created a sense of alertness, a connection between thought and action that Aaron had never experienced before. During a short break, Myra handed him a small tablet. "This explains the theory behind the exercises. They are designed to simulate environmental challenges: low gravity, uneven surfaces, sudden obstacles, even unpredictable equipment failure. Practicing here prepares humans to adapt and survive where machines might fail." Aaron skimmed the tablet, impressed. The colony relied heavily on AI and automated systems, but Myra's exercises showed a different philosophy. Humans were not just passengers in this world. They were active participants, capable of responding in ways machines could not. "Humans are curious," Myra continued. "We notice patterns, improvise solutions, and find ways to adapt. That is our advantage. That is why we survive." Her words resonated deeply with Aaron. He had always admired human ingenuity, but seeing it embodied in Myra's disciplined, precise movements made it real. It was no longer theory. It was practice, living proof that humans could thrive in environments that seemed impossible. After the break, they moved on to more advanced exercises. Myra introduced sequences that combined balance, timing, and spatial awareness. Aaron had to respond to her motions, mirror them, and anticipate the next step. Each motion required thought, intuition, and concentration. When he succeeded, even slightly, he felt a surge of pride. "You're doing better than I expected," Myra said, smiling warmly. Your body is adapting faster than most. Keep it up. Aaron felt a glow of confidence. He had always been a careful thinker, but now he was discovering the thrill of physical engagement. Every movement was a problem to solve, a puzzle to master, and the satisfaction of progress was addictive. As the morning faded into afternoon, Myra stopped the exercises for another break. They sat near the window, watching the alien landscape outside. Jagged mountains rose from the planet's surface, shrouded in mist and glowing slightly under the light of the suns. "This planet is beautiful," Aaron said, almost in awe, "but also dangerous." Myra nodded. "Exactly. Machines can scan, calculate, and measure, but only humans can adapt in unpredictable ways. That's why these exercises matter. One day, you might be called upon to explore outside the dome, to interact with terrain that is impossible for drones or AI to handle alone. And when that day comes, you'll need more than just knowledge. You'll need instinct, focus, and balance." Aaron absorbed her words, feeling both fear and excitement. The idea of venturing outside the dome had always been thrilling, but also terrifying. Yet Myra made it seem possible, even achievable. After the break, Myra introduced another layer, controlled improvisation. "Sometimes you cannot predict the environment," she said. "You must respond without hesitation. These exercises help you practice that. Your mind must flow with your body, not control it entirely, but guide it." She demonstrated by moving in unexpected directions, changing rhythm and adding slight obstacles. A cushion here, a small platform there. Aaron followed, initially stumbling, but gradually finding ways to adjust. Every time he adapted, the glow from his borrowed exosuit flickered, reinforcing the connection between effort and result. By the evening, Aaron was exhausted but exhilarated. His body ached pleasantly, and his mind felt sharper than it had in years. Myra guided him through a cool-down sequence, emphasizing breathing, mindfulness, and reflection. "You did well today," she said. "Remember, it's not about perfection. It's about understanding, adapting, and improving. Humans thrive when we keep learning, when we push beyond what we think we can do." Aaron smiled, feeling a deep sense of accomplishment. He realized that curiosity had brought him here, but discipline and persistence had allowed him to grow. Myra had not just invited him to exercise. She had invited him to discover a part of himself he had forgotten. As he walked back to his apartment, the alien sky above him shifted in color, turning from soft green to deep violet. Aaron felt a strange sense of connection to the planet, the colony, and the people around him. Humans had built this place, adapted to it, and were now shaping it with their intelligence, creativity, and determination. The following days became a routine, but one filled with discovery and progress. Aaron and Myra met each morning, each session slightly more advanced, slightly more challenging. He learned to anticipate motion, to respond instinctively, and to maintain focus even when distracted. Other residents began noticing the changes in Aaron. He moved with confidence through the corridors, handled tasks with new efficiency, and even offered suggestions for improving colony systems. He had always been capable, but now he was adaptable, alert, and self-assured. One evening, as they completed their session, Myra paused and looked at him thoughtfully. "You are learning quickly, but remember, it's not about being better than others. It's about being ready, being capable, and using your human strengths wisely. Curiosity brought you here, and now discipline will carry you further." Aaron nodded, understanding her words. He felt gratitude, not just for Myra's guidance, but for the chance to discover human potential in a way he had never imagined. The exercises were more than movement. They were training of mind, body, and spirit, preparing humans to face challenges that no machine could solve. That night, as Aaron lay in his bed, he thought about the alien horizon beyond the dome. He imagined himself moving through the strange landscape, agile, alert, and ready. He realized that humans were remarkable not because of technology or numbers, but because of creativity, resilience, and the ability to adapt. And somewhere in the colony, Myra practiced her routines, her soft glow a beacon of inspiration, reminding him, and all humans, that they were capable of extraordinary things. Aaron drifted to sleep with a sense of purpose he had never felt before. Curiosity had led him to Myra, discipline had taught him, and human ingenuity promised a future full of possibilities. The domed colony was just the beginning. Beyond it, a vast world awaited, ready to be explored by those brave enough to move, think, and adapt. The colony's dome hummed softly under the twin suns' light, casting long, shifting shadows across the corridors. Aaron walked through the common area with a sense of quiet purpose. Today, Myra had promised something different, a practical challenge that would test everything he had learned in the past weeks. The exercises had been intense and enlightening, but now it was time to step beyond the comfort of the apartment. Myra met him at the entrance to her habitat pod, her expression calm yet focused. "Good morning, Aaron," she said. "Today, we're going to move beyond the exercises inside. You've learned balance, reflexes, and mental focus. Now you'll learn how to use them where it matters most." Aaron felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. He had read about low-gravity zones on the planet's surface and the unstable areas that were impossible for drones to navigate safely. The idea of leaving the safety of the dome had always been thrilling, but now it was real. He took a deep breath and nodded. Myra handed him a small harness, similar to the one she wore during her exercises. "Safety first," she reminded him. "The harness supports you, but it cannot do the work for you. Your body and mind will have to adapt." Aaron put on the harness carefully, adjusting straps and checking the soft, glowing indicators. Myra did the same, her exosuit glowing more brightly now, responding to the energy of the approaching challenge. They stepped out into the corridor that led to the dome's airlock. The heavy metal doors slid open with a hiss, revealing the alien landscape beyond. The ground was rocky, dotted with strange crystalline formations that glimmered faintly under the twin suns. A thin mist swirled around the base of the cliffs, and the low gravity made each step feel lighter, almost as if they were moving through water. "Stay alert," Myra said, her voice calm but firm. "The terrain may look simple, but every step requires attention. Anticipate, adjust, and trust your training." Aaron nodded, gripping the harness tightly as he stepped onto the uneven surface. At first, the world outside felt overwhelming. Every movement required concentration, balancing on shifting rocks, adjusting for the low gravity, and keeping an eye on the subtle hazards hidden beneath the mist. Yet, as he focused, he felt the exercises come alive. His muscles remembered the sequences Myra had taught him, and his mind began to anticipate the motions he needed to stay steady. "Good," Myra said, noticing his progress. "Now try moving faster without thinking too much. Let your instincts guide you." Aaron hesitated for a moment, then pushed off a small rock and moved forward. His steps were lighter, his movements smoother. He felt a strange exhilaration as the alien wind brushed against his face. He could feel his mind and body working together, reacting almost automatically to the unpredictable terrain. As they advanced, Myra introduced a subtle challenge. She directed him toward a narrow ledge that ran along a crystalline formation. Below was a shallow crevice, but in low gravity, a misstep could cause a dangerous slip. Aaron's heart raced, but he recalled Myra's teachings: focus on balance, anticipate motion, and adapt without hesitation. He placed one foot carefully, adjusted his center of gravity, and moved across the ledge. "You're doing well," Myra encouraged. "Humans are remarkable. We can process new challenges in ways machines cannot. This is why your training matters." Aaron felt a surge of pride and determination. He realized Myra was right. Automation and AI were powerful, but humans had something unique: creativity, adaptability, and instinct combined with reasoning. It was exhilarating to experience it firsthand. The path grew more complex. Crystalline spires jutted out in unpredictable angles, and the mist thickened, hiding the edges of unstable ground. Myra guided him through a series of exercises adapted to the real terrain: sudden balance shifts, careful leaps, and sequences that required precise timing. Each motion demanded attention, but with every step, Aaron felt stronger, more confident. "You're ready for the next stage," Myra said after a particularly tricky sequence. She pointed toward a larger formation, resembling a natural ramp leading to a plateau. "Up there." It may seem simple, but the approach requires coordination, timing, and observation. Watch carefully. Aaron studied the formation. Its surface was uneven, with small gaps and jutting stones. He felt a flicker of doubt, but Myra's calm presence reassured him. He remembered the rhythm of the exercises, the lessons about balance and anticipation. He took a deep breath and began the ascent. The climb was not easy. The low gravity altered his perception, making each step feel both lighter and more uncertain. He adjusted constantly, testing his weight on each rock, shifting subtly to maintain balance. At times he stumbled, but his instincts and training guided him. Myra moved alongside him, demonstrating movements that combined agility and subtle leverage, guiding him without taking over. At the top, Aaron paused, looking down at the path he had conquered. A sense of awe and accomplishment washed over him. The alien world was beautiful, strange, and dangerous, but he had adapted. He had moved beyond fear, relying on his mind and body working in harmony. "Excellent," Myra said, smiling. "This is what I wanted you to experience. Humans can thrive in unpredictable environments. Machines calculate, predict, and follow protocols, but humans improvise, adjust, and create solutions on the fly. That is our strength." Aaron nodded, catching his breath. I understand now. It's not just exercise, it's preparation. It's learning how to survive, adapt, and keep moving, even when everything seems uncertain." Myra's expression softened. "Exactly. Humans are explorers by nature. Curiosity brought us here, and adaptability allows us to stay. Remember this feeling: the awareness, the focus, the confidence. It is your most valuable tool." As they rested on the plateau, Aaron noticed the alien landscape in greater detail. Strange plants with translucent leaves swayed in the light breeze, and faint bioluminescence shimmered from the crystalline formations. The planet felt alive, full of mysteries and challenges, yet within that vastness, humans had carved a place for themselves. "Imagine," Myra said quietly, "what we can do if we keep learning, adapting, and sharing knowledge. This is just the beginning. Every challenge you face here will make you stronger, smarter, and more capable." Aaron realized she was right. The exercises, the climbs, the careful navigation of terrain, they were more than training. They were a philosophy, a way of understanding the world and oneself. Humans could not rely solely on machines or algorithms. They had creativity, intuition, and resilience, the qualities that defined their species. The descent from the plateau tested them further. The path was narrower, with jagged rocks and slippery surfaces. Aaron moved carefully, applying everything Myra had taught him. Each step required thought and instinct in equal measure. At times, he felt the old hesitation creep in, but he pushed it aside, trusting his training. Myra watched him, impressed by his progress. "You've come far in a short time." Humans are capable of more than we often give ourselves credit for. Every challenge strengthens our connection between mind and body, between curiosity and action. By the time they returned to the dome, the twin suns were setting, casting the sky in a riot of colors: green, violet, and orange blending together. Aaron's body ached pleasantly, and his mind felt sharper than ever. He had faced uncertainty, adapted, and succeeded. Inside the safety of the dome, Myra removed her harness and gestured for him to sit. "Remember," she said, "it's not about perfection. It's about growth, learning, and resilience. Today you applied your training to a real-world challenge. That is invaluable. Human potential is limitless when curiosity meets discipline." Aaron nodded, reflecting on the day. He realized that the exercises had prepared him not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. He had learned to trust his instincts, anticipate challenges, and move with confidence. He had discovered a part of himself that had been dormant, the part capable of adaptation, exploration, and courage. As he walked back to his apartment later that evening, the domed corridors seemed smaller, more familiar. Yet beyond the dome, the vast alien world awaited, full of challenges, mysteries, and opportunities. Aaron felt ready. Humans were explorers, inventors, and problem solvers. No algorithm or machine could replace the ingenuity, creativity, and instinct that defined them. That night, lying in bed, Aaron thought about the climb, the plateau, and the lessons Myra had taught him. Curiosity had led him here, but adaptation had allowed him to grow. The alien planet was a place of danger and wonder, but humans had the tools, the skills, and the determination to thrive. He drifted to sleep with a sense of purpose. The exercises were no longer just routines. They were a way of life, a philosophy of human ingenuity and resilience. And somewhere in the colony, Myra prepared for the next challenge, quietly guiding others, ensuring that humanity's spark of creativity and adaptability would continue to shine in this alien world. The colony's dome glowed softly under the morning light of the twin suns. Aaron woke feeling the lingering strength of yesterday's climb, his muscles still pleasantly sore, a reminder of how far he had come. He had begun to feel at home in this routine of training and exploration, guided by Myra's lessons in balance, reflexes, and adaptation. But today, there was a new tension in the air, a subtle vibration beneath the floor that even the colony's automated system seemed to register. Aaron checked the central monitor, noticing a small alert flashing in orange. A minor disturbance had been detected in one of the outer energy shield nodes. Usually, these were handled by drones, which monitored and repaired any fluctuations automatically. But something about the alert seemed unusual, slightly faster, slightly unpredictable. He grabbed his communicator. "Myra, did you see this?" he asked, pointing at the monitor. Myra, already dressed in her light harness and exosuit, joined him quickly. She examined the readout, her eyes narrowing thoughtfully. "Yes," she said. "The drones are reporting irregularities, but I don't trust automated repair entirely. We may need to intervene ourselves." Aaron felt a surge of nervous excitement. This was the moment he had been preparing for, the practical application of everything he had learned. He took a deep breath, recalling her words from their training. "Anticipate, adapt, and trust your skills." "Let's move quickly," Myra said. "We'll follow the maintenance corridor to the affected node. Be ready for sudden changes in gravity and surface instability. Remember, humans can adapt where machines cannot." The corridor leading to the outer sections of the dome was long and narrow, lit by soft blue lights. Aaron followed Myra's lead, moving cautiously but confidently. His balance, reflexes, and spatial awareness, all honed through weeks of exercises, kept him steady on the uneven metal floor. The corridor curved outward, and through the transparent panels, the alien landscape stretched endlessly, jagged rocks and crystalline formations shimmering in the light of the rising suns. As they approached the first section of the outer dome, the subtle vibrations grew stronger. Aaron glanced at the monitor again, noticing slight fluctuations in energy readings. The node's stability was weakening faster than expected. Myra paused and turned to him. "This is where your training really matters," she said. "We need to be precise, move in sync, and adapt to any unexpected shifts. Trust your instincts and your reflexes." They stepped into the maintenance hatch leading outside the dome. The airlock cycled slowly, and soon they found themselves on the alien surface. The low gravity made their steps lighter, but the vibrations underfoot were more pronounced. Small fissures had formed around the shield node, and tiny crystalline shards jutted out unpredictably from the terrain. "This is more challenging than I expected," Aaron said, his voice steady despite a flutter of nervousness. "Good," Myra replied. "It's meant to be." Machines can calculate static problems, but humans excel in unpredictable situations. Remember, observe, adapt, and improvise. They moved carefully, stepping over uneven ground and around small fissures. Myra led the way, demonstrating subtle adjustments, leaning slightly, shifting weight, bending knees to absorb unexpected jolts. Aaron mirrored her movements, feeling the harmony between body and mind that her training had instilled in him. As they neared the shield node, a sudden tremor shook the ground beneath them. Aaron's heart raced. The node wavered, its energy reading spiking. He instinctively adjusted his stance, planting his feet firmly and extending his arms for balance. Myra reacted instantly, signaling him with a subtle gesture. Together, they approached the node, moving as one unit, each step deliberate and synchronized. "This is exactly what I trained for," Aaron thought, the adrenaline sharpening his focus. His mind and body worked seamlessly, anticipating shifts in terrain and countering them instinctively. Reaching the node, Myra indicated the area that required adjustment. "These stabilizers have shifted slightly." The drones could try to fix them, but the alignment requires precision. Use your hands, feel the feedback from the device, and make small corrections. Watch the node's energy readings as you move. Aaron took a deep breath and began. His fingers felt the smooth metallic surface, making tiny adjustments while monitoring the glowing interface. It responded subtly to his touch, flickering faintly with each successful correction. Myra guided him verbally, reminding him to move fluidly but not to overthink. Minutes passed and the node began to stabilize. The tremors lessened, though the terrain remained unpredictable. Myra's presence, calm and steady, reassured him, and his confidence grew with each successful adjustment. He realized how much he had learned. Weeks of seemingly simple exercises had prepared him for this moment. Suddenly, a small section of the surrounding terrain shifted. A crystalline shard tilted, threatening to block their path. Aaron reacted instinctively, shifting his weight, ducking and pushing off a nearby rock to maintain balance. Myra mirrored his movements, and together they avoided the obstruction without incident. "This is it," Myra said quietly. "Humans are unique in their ability to improvise. Machines cannot adapt this quickly. Your reflexes, balance, and awareness make the difference." Aaron felt a deep sense of pride. It wasn't just about fixing the node. It was about proving to himself what humans could achieve when curiosity, discipline, and adaptation worked together. He could feel the energy of human ingenuity pulsing in every motion. They worked in tandem for another hour, carefully stabilizing the node and checking surrounding connections. Each adjustment required focus and precision, but Aaron found a rhythm. The exercises had trained him not just physically, but mentally, sharpening his ability to anticipate shifts and adapt instantly. Finally, the node's energy readings returned to normal. The tremors ceased, and the surface beneath their feet felt stable. Aaron exhaled, a mixture of relief and exhilaration flooding through him. "You did exceptionally well," Myra said, her expression warm. "This is what human adaptability looks like. Observation, learning, practice, and instinct, all combined. You applied what we've worked on, and you succeeded where machines alone might have struggled." Aaron smiled, feeling a sense of accomplishment unlike anything he had experienced before. The alien world outside the dome, with its unpredictable terrain and fragile energy systems, had tested him, and he had adapted, thrived, and contributed meaningfully. As they walked back toward the airlock, Myra spoke again. Humans are capable of more than we often believe. Technology helps, but our creativity, curiosity, and ability to improvise set us apart. Remember this experience. It's proof that training and discipline can prepare you for any challenge. The return to the dome felt lighter, almost celebratory. The corridors, familiar and safe, now seemed like a bridge between human ingenuity and the vast, untamed world outside. Aaron felt a sense of connection, to Myra, to the colony, and to the broader potential of humanity itself. Once inside, they removed their harnesses and sat near a control console, reviewing the node's stabilized readings. Myra looked at Aaron thoughtfully. "You've grown immensely," she said, "not just in skill, but in confidence and awareness. These qualities are what define humans, adaptable, inventive, and capable of solving problems no machine can anticipate." Aaron nodded, reflecting on the day. The exercises, the climb, the stabilization of the node, it all had a purpose. Every movement, every adjustment, every moment of focus had prepared him for this. And it had worked. That evening, as the twin suns set beyond the dome, painting the alien landscape in shades of violet and green, Aaron felt a profound sense of gratitude. Curiosity had led him to Myra. Training had taught him discipline. And the real-world challenge had revealed the power of human ingenuity in action. In his thoughts, he imagined the future, challenges beyond the dome, landscapes untamed, mysteries waiting to be explored. And he felt ready. Humans were explorers, problem solvers, and innovators. Technology could assist, but it was the human mind and spirit that truly shaped the outcome. He went asleep that night with a sense of purpose and pride. The colony was safe, the node stabilized, and the exercises had proven their worth in ways no one could have predicted. And somewhere, Myra continued her work, preparing for the next challenge, quietly ensuring that humanity's spark of curiosity, creativity, and adaptability would continue to shine brightly in this alien world. For Aaron, the experience had been transformative. He understood now that humans were not just survivors. They were creators of solutions, explorers of the unknown, and masters of adaptation. And he felt certain that no matter what the alien planet presented next, humans would rise to meet it, as they always had. The morning in the colony began quietly, the twin suns casting pale light across the dome structures. After the previous day's challenge with the outer energy shield node, Aaron awoke feeling a deep sense of purpose. His muscles still held the satisfying ache of exertion, and his mind buzzed with clarity. Myra's exercises, combined with their real-world applications, had revealed something profound. Humans were capable of adapting, learning, and excelling in ways machines alone could not. Today, however, promised something different. A colony-wide assembly had been called, an unusual occurrence, signaling that leadership intended to address a matter of importance. As Aaron made his way through the corridors, he felt a quiet anticipation building among the residents. People moved with curiosity, exchanging brief conversations and glances toward the assembly hall. The air carried a sense of expectancy, almost celebratory, though no one knew exactly why. When Aaron arrived, Myra was already there, adjusting the small interface on her exosuit. Her calm presence grounded him. "Today is more than just recognition," she said softly. "It's an opportunity to show others the value of human skill, training, and adaptability. What we did yesterday, stabilizing the outer node, demonstrated that humans can solve problems in unpredictable environments." Aaron nodded. He felt a surge of pride. It wasn't about personal achievement, but about contributing to something bigger, the safety, survival, and progress of the colony. Myra had taught him that humans could rise to challenges in ways machines could not, and now it was time to share that lesson with everyone. The assembly hall was a large, transparent space, offering a panoramic view of the alien landscape. Residents gathered, murmuring softly, their attention divided between each other and the expansive world outside. Aaron and Myra entered together, and a hush fell as their presence was noticed. Colonial leader Dr. Soren, a tall, calm woman with silver hair and keen eyes, stepped forward. "Residents of Horizon Dome," she began, her voice carrying effortlessly. "Yesterday, two members of our community, Myra and Aaron, demonstrated the unique capability of humans to adapt, respond, and solve problems in real time, where automated systems alone could not. They stabilized a critical energy shield node, ensuring the safety of our entire colony." A ripple of applause spread through the crowd. Aaron felt his cheeks warm, but Myra's calm, modest smile reminded him to focus on the purpose, not the recognition. "Doctor," Soren continued, "this event is a powerful example of human ingenuity. Machines assist, but humans innovate. Humans observe, adapt, and act. What Myra and Aaron achieved is proof that our greatest strength lies not in technology alone, but in creativity, courage, and collaboration." As she spoke, a holographic display activated, showing the outer energy node, its crystalline terrain, and the unstable surfaces that Aaron and Myra had navigated. The audience watched in awe as the sequence of movements was displayed, step by step. Every adjustment, every careful motion, every coordinated response was illustrated, demonstrating the precision, adaptability, and ingenuity involved. Aaron felt a swell of pride, not for himself, but for humanity. This was the moment he understood fully. Humans had the capacity to face unpredictability, not by brute force, but through intelligence, discipline, and cooperation. Myra had taught him this, and now the colony could see it firsthand. After the presentation, Myra stepped forward. "The exercises I practice," she explained to the residents, "are not just about physical training. They are about understanding our environment, learning to anticipate challenges, and trusting our instincts while maintaining focus. Humans can adapt in ways that machines cannot, and with practice, anyone can develop these skills." Aaron joined her, speaking with confidence he hadn't known he possessed a few weeks ago. "It's about curiosity, discipline, and teamwork. When we worked together yesterday, we relied on observation, understanding, and improvisation. These qualities allowed us to succeed in a situation where no protocol or algorithm could guarantee results." The crowd listened intently. Younger residents leaned forward, eager to learn. Some of the older members nodded in recognition, recalling their own experiences of problem-solving in unpredictable circumstances. The message was clear. Human capability was limitless when nurtured through curiosity and practice. Dr. Soren concluded the session with a simple, powerful statement: "Humans are explorers, innovators, and problem solvers. We survive not because we rely solely on technology, but because we use our minds, bodies, and creativity to adapt." What Myra and Aaron demonstrated is a lesson for all of us. When curiosity meets discipline, the impossible becomes possible. After the assembly, residents gathered in smaller groups to discuss the lessons learned. Many approached Aaron and Myra with questions, eager to understand the exercises and how to apply them to their own routines. Aaron realized that what had started as personal training had evolved into a shared philosophy, a blueprint for human growth and adaptability. Later, Myra guided Aaron to a quiet observation deck overlooking the crystalline terrain outside the dome. The twin suns were descending, casting the landscape in shades of violet and gold. The alien world shimmered, its beauty both serene and intimidating. "Look at it," Myra said softly. "All of this right outside our dome. Machines can assist us, but humans are the ones who explore, innovate, and make discoveries. Every challenge we face strengthens our ability to survive and thrive here." Aaron gazed at the horizon, feeling a profound sense of connection. The planet was vast and unpredictable, Yet humans had carved a place for themselves through ingenuity and perseverance. "I understand now," he said. "It's not just about survival, it's about growth, exploration, and learning. Humans can do amazing things when we apply ourselves fully." Myra smiled. "Exactly, and what we do now will inspire others. Humans learn best through example, through observation, and through shared experience. By demonstrating what's possible, we help the colony grow stronger, mentally, physically, and as a community." The days that followed were filled with a new energy. Residents began adopting Myra's exercises, practicing balance, coordination, and focus. They explored simulations of the alien terrain, learning to anticipate challenges and adapt to unexpected situations. Aaron felt proud to be part of this movement, seeing curiosity, discipline, and ingenuity spreading throughout the colony. One evening, Aaron and Myra returned to the plateau they had climbed weeks earlier. The alien landscape glowed in the twilight, crystalline formations reflecting the soft light. They stood in silence for a moment, reflecting on how far they had come. "You've grown remarkably," Myra said. "Not just in skill, but in confidence and understanding. Remember, humans are capable of more than we often give ourselves credit for. We adapt, we innovate, and we inspire others through our actions." Aaron nodded, feeling the truth of her words. The plateau, the exercises, the challenges, they had all built something greater than themselves. Humans were explorers, not just of the alien world outside, but of the potential within. As the stars began to shimmer above the dome, Aaron realized that curiosity, discipline, and adaptability were more than tools. They were a way of life. The colony had grown stronger because of it, and so had he. Humans were remarkable not because of technology or numbers, but because of creativity, intuition, and resilience, the qualities that defined them. That night, as the colony slept under the glow of the twin suns, Aaron reflected on the journey. From the first glimpse of Myra's exercises to the stabilization of the outer node and the inspiration of the colony, he had learned a profound truth. Humans could rise to any challenge, adapt to any environment, and thrive where others might fail. And somewhere in the dome, Myra practiced her routines quietly, her exosuit glowing softly, a symbol of human determination, discipline, and ingenuity. Together, they had proven that curiosity could lead to mastery, that practice could lead to innovation, and that humans, ordinary humans, could achieve extraordinary things. Aaron drifted to sleep that night with a sense of purpose and pride. The world beyond the dome was vast, mysterious, and full of challenges, but humans were ready. Their creativity, adaptability, and collaborative spirit would guide them forward, turning obstacles into opportunities and curiosity into discovery. In the morning, the twin suns would rise again over Horizon Dome, illuminating the alien landscape, and humanity would continue to thrive, curious, inventive, and unstoppable. Aaron smiled as he closed his eyes. The journey had only begun. Humans had faced uncertainty, adapted, and triumphed. And in every corner of the colony, that spark of ingenuity burned brightly, a testament to what humans could achieve when they trusted themselves and each other. The dome, the planet, and the vast unknown beyond were no longer intimidating. They were invitations. Invitations to explore, learn, and grow. And Aaron knew, as he had always known deep down, that humans were capable of extraordinary things. For in the heart of every challenge, in the face of every unknown, humans had one undeniable advantage: the ability to imagine, adapt, and thrive. And that was just the beginning.